advice would you give to someone interested in getting acupuncture for the first time? Could someone get acupuncture just for general wellness, relaxation, or do you have to be a specific ailment to work on? One of the best t-shirts that I have ever seen for an acupuncturist said, "I solve problems you didn't know you had in ways that you don't understand. I'm an acupuncturist." So the good thing about being an acupuncturist is that we are really trained to understand and catch things that are out of balance in several ways. Now, when we talk about in Western terms, oh, I have this ailment. Well, I don't have any ailments, or I don't have anything wrong that has a label that I've been to someone with an MD after their name that is diagnosable. And yet there's probably some that's not going right that you don't feel optimal about. Or maybe my favorite category is, oh, I thought that was normal. And then you talk with someone who understands the nature of fundamental health and the elements and how humans work, and they can reflect to you, actually, that's not normal. Gosh, if I just had a quarter for every time somebody thought only having a bowel movement every 3 days was a normal thing, I'd probably be retired on an island somewhere. So there's a lot of categories that, even though we haven't been trained from a Western medical society type of thing to understand are out of balance, we can actually catch them and increase your health and just your overall well-being. The other thing that's great is that the acupuncturist will find something. An acupuncturist is going to be great. No one's going to look at you in a weird way if you say, well, I don't know, I don't have anything, but something just seems off. They will help you find it, and you will notice as you start to go to acupuncture that other things that you thought were unconnected will get better. You might feel better in just your inner centering with yourself. Some of your relationships might get better. You might think your kids or your in-laws are less annoying suddenly, even though you haven't been doing anything differently. So the good news is that traditional medicine really helps us to come in alignment with what is. This is a different world and a different worldview. I went one time when I was living in Denver to put on by a local hospital. It was sort of like walk with a doc in your afternoons. And a group of community people would show up, and there would be an MD doctor person there, and you would just sort of like walk around the lake. In this instance, it was a very friendly woman, middle-aged. She was very friendly. We chatted. She thought positively of acupuncture, but really didn't know anything about it. And she told me this story about a colleague of hers who had really gone deep in learning acupuncture. And she expressed this doctor's difficulty because the world of understanding medicine and health in this deep, holistic way was so different for that doctor from the way that they are forced to practice in the box of conventional medicine, that it was really hard for that doctor to function in the same way. So this is maybe a challenge and a gift where you see that it is helpful to come away from a mechanic view of life, to use positive parts when we need them, but that actually the deeper way to life fulfillment, to deep radiant health, not just lack of a diagnosis, is to be in line with what is, and practices like acupuncture and Ayurveda and others are really helpful in that way. So I hope that was a long-winded way to answer your question of what to tell someone to expect. I would say, to circle back to that, if you have someone who's like, gosh, I've never done acupuncture, do I have to have something going wrong? The answer would be, actually, a lot of the times before things become real problems, they're subtle problems. And so going to acupuncture will not only prevent those things in a true way from happening, but you'll also feel more relaxed and better and probably happier overall as a person. That's usually a good selling point.